Was Prin right-handed?
Even I don't know the answer to that question.
Would you say that Prin was right-handed?
I'm gonna play devil's advocate and say that because he dual-wielded swords, he was most likely ambidextrous. If he wasn't ambidextrous in most things, he certainly was in combat.
Well, because I know he has a main hand weapon and an offhand weapon. Just from, like, his fighting style. Would you say that the left would be the offhand, by any chance?
Obviously, I know what the answer could be. There's only two options, but I don't know how to answer that. Because that's something that never came up, and I don't know if I should make that kind of determination. Kind of falling into that gray area of trying to do what I can, but not want to do too much, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think the best answer I can give, while staying within the guidelines for everything else that I've said, I think it's going to have to be an ambidextrous answer. That each hand was equally used just as much. Now, if he ever two-handed things, that of course would change the answer entirely, but all the uses of the swords were always one-handed in dual wielding.
Yeah. Yeah. So Samson's just gonna sit there for a second, just... I presume that's all the information my investigation checks would get me?
Yeah. You know what the directions of the cuts were. You can kind of put together what had to be first and last, basically how...
Like a timeline.
Yeah. And we can say that you picked that up because of where the blood's flowing. If a lot of blood was... The topmost cuts would have the oldest blood. Obviously, anything that crossed intestinal linings would reveal a lot of blood in viscera because that's a big pouch that's spilling out. But you get the direction of the cuts and you're able to figure out what was first, and you also see how they died.
Okay.
I.e., one died instantaneously just from getting attacked. The other one basically bled out instantaneously but died in a racked pain death.
Yeah.
A lot of muscle tension, a lot of... Rigor's the wrong word. Rigor's time-based. But you get what I mean.
Yeah. So Samson will regroup with the rest of the party after doing that. Just, well, I think we learned everything that we could here.
We?
We?
Well, yes, that loose usage of "we" that pops up very often here.
It's the royal.
The royal we. It's royal and it's a we. It's the royal. Wait, hold on. Goddamn, phrasing! I got through last session. I'm still taking that to the bank. Anyway.
This has surprising implications.
What do you mean?
From my best guess, it seems that Thomas was attacked from behind and died instantly.
Attacked from behind? No, his cuts were all on the front.
Oh.
Yeah,
because,
no,
it looked like he was cleaved, like, from side to side.
Yeah, no, the cuts were going from left to right across the front of his torso.
Oh, across the front.
Yeah.
I just thought you meant, like, straight through.
Mm-mm. No. That's why the intestines are hanging out. He would have had to cut through the spinal column to have done it from behind.
Oh, yeah.
No, both of them
How
are
could
cut.
I be so foolish?
Wait, yeah, no. All the cuts out of all 5 cuts, they were all on the front torsos of each body. Front facing. I'll take the L for that, but, anyway.
Yeah. Because I didn't think a man would have, like, a face like that if he instantly died from being attacked from the front.
Man, not had time to react. Remember, this man's a farmer, not a fighter.
True, but, like, your muscles tend to react faster than your brain can process.
True.
But anyway. Let's just
There's
get
Jimmy
going.
looking all the way over there.
You mean Johnny?
Yes. I don't know why, but he's Jimmy in my notes now. I'm sorry.
Jimmy, Zantag, I understand. No matter what name I give anyone, you're gonna come up with something, and it's gonna be my job as the DM to decode it as fast as possible and figure out just who you're talking about. Got
Welcome
it.
to
I'm so glad
Shay.
we came to this understanding.
Love you, Shay.
Love you
God,
too, fam.
you should have seen Shade, like, when she was big in Genshin. You had to relearn the entire roster's name.
Oh, do tell me what Noelle was called.
I didn't give her a name. Never used her.
Zhongli became Zucchini.
Broke Grandpa.
Alright, enough of that. So, you look over to Johnny?
Yeah, that guy.
And he kind of looks back over in your general direction, and you see him just, like, gesture with his head for you to come over. And as if on cue, Rhino picks up his maul and just brings it over his shoulder and just starts walking over. And he kind of looks back over at you guys, like, you know, trying to see if you're coming along with him.
And it's
Johnny's looking at us.
Yeah, he's looking over in your general direction, and he just, like, cocked his head. You know how some people do with the, like, yeah, get over here.
They'll, like, nod you into a direction, yeah. I'll walk over to him, and if they didn't take the hint, I'll get them to.
Yeah, Nim was the one looking, so Nim's like, well, guess we gotta head over.
And I'm assuming Kiala is just following the temperature gradient again.
Yep.
Air warm, wear cold. Cold there, move, cold direction. Yay.
I mean, not yay. She
Boo.
hasn't been yay in a long
It's been very
Grr.
yay.
Has Yella been yay this whole time? Like, once?
No! No, she hasn't.
Well, that's not true. She ate a bit of candy.
I guess.
Yeah.
And she did eat
The
some
other
flowers.
time she wanted to be yay, Nim caused problems.
And then the other time it was Samson that messed it up.
The only time
I've never
Kiala's ever been yay is drug induced.
Yeah. Now she's never yay again.
I hope that's not the case.
Hey, we've got drugs. You've got drugs.
I also have the drugs.
Yay. Yeah.
See, told you. Yay.
Don't
So-
be surprised if those go slowly missing.
You better watch out how you take something from this character.
Give me the drugs. I need them. Merrymaker, give me the drugs.
Samson does not like being
Bold of you
stolen
to
from.
assume she will ask.
Does he not like being stolen from? Because there seems to be a large list of missing items.
Yeah, and he's pissed about it. Again, Mr. DM, you remember the last time he was stolen from.
I know, that's why I'm making the joke.
So we head over to Jimmy John.
Yes, and we
Yeah,
pick up a sandwich.
We head over to Jimmy John, and then he hands you a Jimmy Dean.
We don't want the Jimmy D.
Yeah, no, if someone served me a Jimmy Dean sandwich at a restaurant, I would fucking throw it in their face. I'm not here for that Denny's level food.
Denny. If you wanted Denny's level food, you go to Denny's.
I'd risk getting stabbed and go to Denny's.
Wait, hold up. Denny's
Yeah.
serves food?
Well, food.
Okay.
Okay.
Food that works at 3 a.m. but only at 3 a.m.
You know, the same way that biodegradable packing peanuts are edible, so is Denny's food.
You know they have some that are flavored?
Yeah.
You know, I have a friend that I don't know if
They
he's
have
still
flavored Denny's food? That's
Okay.
awesome.
I
We
have
have
a
a chicken
friend.
sandwich. What are we doing now?
I have a friend that worked or works at a Denny's. I don't know which.
And
at
they're
this
dead
point.
now.
And
Oh
they
my God.
legit told me once, like, if you're ever working at a Denny's, make sure that your chef is smoking weed. They're not smoking weed, they're not making you good food. And I had to hold my tongue, literally put my tongue in between my teeth to not say, at what point at that restaurant do you ever actually make food? Because they genuinely like that job. And I was like,
Listen. Some people like terrible jobs.
And food.
yeah, but to think that you make food there that's a
We're
long
going on
shot.
a tangent.
I think
Nothing.
I think you're having a little too much weed if you think what comes out of that kitchen is remotely edible.
We're going on a tangent. What does Jimmy say to us?
Well,
My name's John, is what he says.
my name is John, and it has a Y. It's Johnny. It's not
Yeah,
Jebediah.
him calls anyone by their name. That's really funny.
Call Samson by his name.
A couple times, but most of the time, not really.
Anywho. So you gaggle a four approach, and this poor woman starts looking quite skittish. Johnny just kind of reaches out, puts a hand on her knee. It's like, it's okay, hon. These dolls ain't gonna hurt you. I know what it looks like, but they're not gonna hurt you none. Not as long as I'm here. Not as long as big boys are there. Now. What'd you find out, lovelies?
Jack Shizzle is what we found. But
I
Nim
mean-
says nothing important.
Did you actually
No,
say
no.
Jack Shizzle?
No!
Okay!
Aww.
Nothing you really couldn't just concern from a close look.
Well, I haven't had a chance to look yet, so want to inform me?
Tom there, went without I guess before he could even recognize it. His wife wasn't so lucky. It's probably why, first thing that alerted everyone to it was her scream.
Yes, it was her that screamed, wasn't it? Have you figured out the cause of death?
Loss?
Sword wounds.
Shit. They met the business end of a blade.
From the looks of it, from the front, both of them.
Well, at least you're honest, Mr. Merrymaker. And he kind of just, like, sits down on his knees so he's at the same level with this woman. Poor Mary here witnessed the whole thing. She was a little bit closer, walking from the Zanzibar house over there, and he points at one of the buildings, and said that Thomas was talking to both of them, but he was remaining calm as he always did. Man works with pretty angry fowl after all. Not a lot of things get him tensed up. She didn't hear the whole conversation, but Tom said something, and well, your big red friend went into an absolute tirade, screaming something about being dragonborn of the red scales and certainly not a salamander. And next thing she knew, as you see, she kind of just tenses up and starts to retreat in. You know how people do. He pulled out his blades and went to town. Tom's wife freaked out, started running and screaming, and took her down too. Not exactly very brave or courageous. I guess not everybody can be a pirate now, can they?
Samson's going to bite his lip at that and just sort of like look away.
I'm so tempted to ask, what does being a pirate have to do with the situation? But it won't. Because even Nim knows that's in poor taste.
And I guess after that, they hopped on two birds and head west.
Yes,
East.
that seems to be the case of it all. So my only question is up to this point, did your friend ever seem to dislike being called by his species name, or?
Yes.
We don't have time to get into that.
I'm just imagining Yala standing there just growling, just...
She's so pissed.
Nim goes, it's a long story.
Yes, well, certainly not a story that somebody should have had to die over. Johnny kind of gets back on his feet and reaches a gentle hand down to the young lady. And she reaches up. She's still quite shaken, and he just helps her to her feet and kind of brings her close. You know, trying to keep her comfortable. She's clearly, like, in shock.
You have any idea how fast those birds can go?
Well, I can tell you this much. They can maintain our top running speed and a carry weight of 10 miles per hour, so they're certainly zooming. But if they're taking them into the desert, they are likely going to find the birds are going to exhaust quickly. I don't know if they'll manage to make it to the tower by that point. If they can keep the birds for, let's say, going a day and a half, which might be possible given what they stole from you. They may make it to Zanzibar before the birds need rest.
Well, we got no other choice but to go after them. I think we're done here.
I'm so tempted to ask for breakfast. But it feels like a bad idea.
Do it.
So at that, he kind of like takes both the woman's hands and just looks at her and goes, "Now listen to me, lovely. We all know what lies in that direction, but I need you to keep that secret. Don't tell anybody where those two are heading, otherwise the panic's liable to get out. Understand?" And she kind of just doesn't meet his gaze, and she just kind of starts shaking her head. "You need anything, you come to any one of us. You know that, right?" And she nods again, and he just like pulls her in for a hug. "All right, go get something to eat. You're all shaken up." And
At the mention of food, Nim's stomach rumbles.
Johnny doesn't pay any attention to that. He just watches her like shakily walk down the alley, trying to get on with life.
Yalla will shove a piece of the fruit leather at her.
Oh, thank
just
you.
Slaps her in the face with a big furry paw with fruit leather.
She's not even looking, she's just like, whoop,
Yeah, just
arm out.
Samson's gonna like walk off.
Nim will take the fruit leather and say thank you, and then I guess we're heading to Lily.
Yep.
Samson goes walking off in the direction of Lele.
Mm-hmm.
Nim follows, eating fruit leather.
I assume with Nim moving, so would Rhino and Yala.
Yeah, Rhino
Yalla's
starts
yelling.
moving, and Johnny notices the movement. He starts kind of walking back with you. You're kind of tearing off ahead, and you hear Johnny call out to you, "Lovely, you're not allowed to be anywhere that the big boy isn't, so I suggest slowing down." I know. I trust you want to get out of here, but it's a lot better than having the townspeople whip into a riot. Stay where he can see you, and then you won't be bothered.
I mean, you can't really help the bothered part. We're all really bothered. We're just not addressing it.
Not that kind of bothered, Shaylin.
Still applies.
No, Shaylin!
No! Shaylin! No! No! Kapit! Kapit!
To be back at the cottage. With
To
the
be back
one
at the
Zanzibar
cottage.
person that Yella doesn't despise.
Literally
So-
everyone hates the Zanzibarian people, except for Samson.
Nim doesn't care either way.
Well, yeah, so I'm attributing it to hate.
Not the same.
Yella loathes them enough for them both.
Yeah.
Or for, if not for all three of them.
Y'all
Nim's gonna
loathes
ask.
them because her party attacked them. Is really what it boils down to, and it's hilarious.
No! No, she has hated them long before that, and this was just the last nail in the coffin. She ain't flirting with any more hot tabaxi guys. She hates everyone
That
here.
ship is sailed.
Nim's
What are
gonna
they-
ask Rhino, Rhino, what do you do?
Rhino's gonna look down and be like, "Rhino smash!"
Mood.
What else?
Rhino charge!
What else?
Oh, this is gonna go on for hours if someone doesn't stop it.
Rhino make food? Rhino make potion? Rhino hunt?
Wow, Rhino's a regular housewife.
Yeah. You have a herbalism kit?
Rhino herbalism?
How do you
I
make
don't know.
potions?
Get some. Just hurry up.
At that, Rhino kind of just like his eyes dart back and forth for a second. Rhino learned from old lady Zan. Yeah.
Eat.
So, are we at Lily yet?
Yeah, after a bit of walking, you manage to get back to Lily. She greets you happily.
Hey there, girl.
It's a sad day in Sam.
Sadson.
Sad.
And Lily just starts petting you on the head with her tentacles.
Alright, everyone. Let's get on and get a move on.
So you all mount on Lily?
Yeah.
Alright. Rhino gets up with the rest of you and takes position on Lily. I assume Kiala autopilots up and onto the bug, and Nim follows suit. Simpson takes the reins, and you're off, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yella takes the time to look at her hands. Just like,
Fair.
darn. And then clenches them back into fists.
Oh.
So you start setting out.
Yeah. Nim is gonna do an Arcana check on the book.
You're gonna do an Arcana check on the book?
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll me that.
What do I know?
High numbers on Arcana! Let's go!
Alright, Nim's brain explodes.
End of Nim roll new
We're down
character.
another party member.
Yeah.
So you run an Arcana check, and you've managed to step in it enough times that you're starting to become wise to this. And you feel a vibration deep within the book, and you quickly fumble through the journal. And you see, as you're running this ambient you know, like searching magic. It's an Arcana check, so magic is involved. You see a circle start to form in a very dark and like malicious kind of glow, and you see the shape of two eyes begin to take form, and you recognize this kind of feeling. There is clearly some kind of seal, some kind of rune, some kind of incantation placed on this book by Zanzibar.
Nim says hello.
Does Nim attempt to use the seal to say hello?
Yes.
Roll me another Arcana check.
Oh.
Those are double numbers. Nice.
Yeah.
So, you get that familiar feeling. Though this time, you're the one, you know, pulling the strings. Yeah, go you! You know how to use magic, and you're gonna do it right. You need a win right now.
Red, man.
And you kind of like backtrack magic this seal, and you feel the pull in the easterly direction. And you look up, and you can see in that mind's eye of yours just the very rough shape of a man. And the head kind of like lifts up and turns, and you just see that ambient glow of yellow eyes. How in... What?
Moshi Moshi!
Wait a minute, excuse me? How did you even manage that? And what are you doing? What?
Sorcerer, bitch.
You have successfully managed to open a connection with Zanzibar, and he is just like, wait, what? How? Hold up. Stop. Wait a minute. Roll this back one more time for me.
How did you get this number?
How did you get my number? This is awful. No, that's not in character. So, yeah, no. You've definitely...
Zanzibar, yes.
So Nim goes, if you answer my questions, I'll answer yours.
And you get
This is all in Nim's mind that's happening, right?
Pretty much. She can be talking out loud, but all of what she's hearing is, like, echoing as if she's hearing, like, dream language. You know, that, like, echoey, rocking through your brain kind of sound that everybody uses to symbolize that.
Hello.
Yeah.
Is there anybody in there?
Hello.
Hello.
Sounds
So, at your
Nim,
comment...
what the hell are you talking about?
Are you speaking out loud?
Nim is probably just muttering.
No, fair enough. You're just muttering these things, saying them louder in your head than you are out loud.
Yeah.
And you kind of just see the rough face go from just shock to a big, like, shit-eating smile. And it's like, you are a glutton for punishment, but I find this very entertaining. Shoot! What questions do you have for little old me?
Your social security number, first of all. And
Hey,
Do
can
you
I
know
get...
that your Windows has a dangerous virus? If you give us personal information, we can send someone to help.
Hey
Oh my
kids,
God.
give us your first, give us the
calling you
first
to
16
this
numbers
unpaid
on your
federal
mom's
student loan.
credit card. It will give you your Among Us imposter name.
If you can give us the first 16 numbers of your mother's social security number, we'll give you 5,000 V-Bucks. Enter for a chance to win now. Anyway, back on track.
Nim first asks, who is Celeste Patron?
And he takes a moment to think. How?
Celeste's chosen.
No,
I don't know who this Celeste is. Who's that?
The blondie with pointy ears.
Oh, the Eladrin Amethyst. Her patron soon. Next question.
Do we
How do I
just
get
get
in
to play 20
contact
questions with?
How do I get in contact with soon without making a pact?
And you only see his body, but you can imagine he was drinking something and just spit it out. He's like,
Oh, you might be a little more stupid than I gave you credit for. That is a terrible idea. Why on
You
earth?
literally said this morning to talk to her, but whatever.
what?
You literally said this morning, in game, not IRL, that talk to her patron. But whatever.
That was morning Zanzibar. This is approaching midday Zanzibar.
Yeah, it had something to do. Nim did on our contact on the book, asked Zanzibar what to do, and he gave her advice that's something to do with Celeste Patron.
Yeah.
Well, he was. I remember what you're talking about. He was being a dick. He wasn't.
No shit.
He wasn't being serious.
Nim doesn't know that.
Well, yeah, Nim doesn't know it, but he didn't. He never once thought that like you'd actually take that seriously.
I'm so tempted for Nim to go, then were you lying this morning?
But anyway.
Actually, no, Nim does ask. Were you lying this morning then?
Lying about what? Well, it is true that theoretically you could get all the answers in the universe you want about this particular issue if you were to ask her. That's a terrible idea. She's a god. She'd sooner smite somebody as lowly as you as actually answer a question. So no, I wasn't lying. I never lie. I haven't told a lie for as long as I can remember. But as for contacting the gods, you have better chances contacting devils.
Well, one will be a lot faster, just saying. And it ain't the gods. Alright. What's another question that Nim would think of? Which
Now
is my way of
I
asking
get
you
to
guys.
ask a question.
Oh
Go
boy.
for it.
How did you manage to do this?
As he kind of like swirls his finger around loosely in the
Well,
air.
you see, I asked if I could do it, and then I tossed a
Ian
digital
said
20-sided rock.
So,
You know the internet.
do you want me to BS an explanation, or would you like to BS an explanation? I have one on hand. I'm just giving you the option.
No, how does Nim
Enigma.
think she managed to do this?
All right.
Nim's
No.
just supposed to answer how she thinks this happened. I'm not asking
So
you to
Nim-
like formulate lore.
So Nim says, "What I think
found your
happened.
IP address.
Your
Nim?
connection was unstable, and I just hopped on the Wi-Fi."
Of course, the password was Zanzibar. What else would it be on this island?
Password of Zanzibar? Zanzibar password.
Wrong. The
The
password would
Wi-Fi
be
of Zanzibar.
no. Clearly, the password is password of Zanzibar.
Yeah.
Your password was like too unsecure, man.
The Wi-Fi, the 5G of Zanzibar.
Anyway, back to task. Off of this horrible skit.
So Nim says, "What I assume happened is I traced back the magic on this book you cast as a medium to contact you."
And he kind of like stops for a second, and you loosely can get the image of him twirling his finger in the air, cocks his head to the side.
Ah. You're a wild magic sorceress. That makes more sense. Tell me I'm right.
As he returns to that
So I want to
shitty
say you're
grin.
wrong.
Hmm?
Man, if
Please
if
lie.
there weren't other people here, Nim would turn into a boy and say wild magic sorcerer, to be exact. Just so he's wrong. But people are here, so Nim won't. Nim goes, how'd you know?
Because I cast that incantation with wild magic as the building blocks. Then I added a little bit of astral and my own personal something special. So the only way you'd be so easily able to manipulate the fundamentals and turn them in the opposite direction would be if you had a natural connection to the same base principle. You follow?
Yes.
Alright. Ask your questions.
Alright. Anyone have any questions for Nim to ask? And I will put them in Nimlish.
Patch me through. I got some complaints.
Hello? Yeah, I just visited your island and I have a few comments. There's a suggestion box.
Right over top of the incinerator.
Oh my god.
Okay, first suggestion, can you move the complaint box?
No!
Alright, so Nim's gonna
Stupid
ask.
timeshares.
Let's see.
God, this went from being angsty session to being jokes galore. Where's the
Listen, we
angst?
have to meme.
If we don't
You
meme
know
it,
We
you're
we'll
are
cry.
memeing so hard. This session is memeing harder than anyone before it, I think.
What's your point?
Meme through the angst. Meme through the angst.
Yeah, I mean, Fella's not gonna do anything, so all you get is Mimi Jade.
Well, I think Shay's more asking like what you as players think you should ask, because
He
Yeah.
actually knows our names or who the hell we are.
Yeah, so
'Cause
Nim's
he
gonna go, what do you know
doesn't
about our
seem to.
party? Nim asks, what do you know about our party?
As he kind of taps his chin for a second, then gets that signature smile.
Only the truth.
Are you gonna like go into specifics, or is that the end of the answer?
Oh, that's the end of the answer, my dear.
Oh, right. Should I ask if they can slow Prin and Celeste down? Oh,
I don't think he's going to be physically doing anything we ask him.
alright.
Besides answer questions.
Or make Nim throw up.
Yeah, that was really funny.
So Nim will ask, can you tell if there's anyone like, if there's a words. Anyway, Nim will ask, can you tell if they are under someone's control or influence?
And as you send that question out, he turns back to face you.
Well, I have no idea if they're under someone's control now. But I can tell you this much. They certainly was...
Words. Me and Shay both.
They certainly weren't under anyone's control when she ditched the journal.
Hello?
I see. No, I'm thinking,
Oh, okay.
I see. Can you tell me how to become a hydromancer? I'm kidding.
Yes!
You see, I lost my decanter and I really want to create water.
I want to be the
Look, if
decanter.
that's an option I could do, let me know, cause
I gotta
Nim
think
misses
on
it.
it.
I'm gonna have to what on it?
I said I'm gonna have to think on it.
Ah, gotcha.
As for you, it's not like the decanter's destroyed. Go
Yeah,
hunt
but
them
Nim doesn't
down.
have it, so it might as well be.
Go hunt them down, beat the ever-loving shit out of them, kill them, and take it back. Jeez, easy answer. Quick math.
Jade, can you think of any other questions?
Can I go home?
I don't think he's gonna give us that.
Not really, no.
Okay.
I got nothing either.
I also just don't believe he would be necessarily telling the truth.
Yeah. As a
Dude
pro,
takes
I
baths.
guess.
Never trust someone who takes baths.
Only trust Smash players.
No, they never take baths. That's worse. Anyway. And then we'll ask, you got any advice?
For you?
Don't die.
I'll take what I can get, you know?
Oh, Ed. Oh, Ed. Why you gotta do me like that? Because he was legit just going to say,
Don't die.
You know, I think I'm learning better about Zanzibar myself.
yeah. Why you gotta do me like that, bro?
Don't die, forehead.
So, he'll think on it for a second.
Well, as Zanzibar would always say, don't eat before talking to me.
And he's just gonna snap his fingers and you're gonna start vomiting.
Zanzibar is such an asshole to Nim.
He's genocidal maniac. What do you mean?
So at that, you're gonna hear the just, and the whole rush of that malicious, awful feeling is gonna hit you, break your concentration, and right there, just barely managing not to puke all over the book. Just,
Over the side, at least?
that's up to her. Do you make it
Nim
to the
was sitting
side?
on the corner anyway, so yes, it was over the side.
Okay, good.
Nim goes, that was unpleasant.
And this party throws up a lot.
It's just Nim.
It's
And
just
Sam-
Nim.
And Samson. Oh wait, no, y'all threw up
And
too.
Fio's thrown up, and Celeste is thrown up.
And Prince thrown up.
Oh my god, everybody has thrown up!
It's the winner!
Oh, that's right, Samson didn't throw up.
No, yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
No!
You did. You threw up last episode.
No,
No,
I didn't throw up.
Fei-Ling threw up.
Yeah. During the one shot, my character threw up, but
Yeah.
Samson never threw up.
Yeah.
Side tangents aside.
Fei-Ling threw up.
Woo!
Side tangents
Samson starts
aside.
shooting his guns in the air as he realized he's never thrown up.
Give it some time. You still gotta meet Zanzibar.
Oh god, you're ugly! Alright, so Nim
Yeah,
pukes
Nim.
over the side of the water bug.
Yeah.
Which, of course, Rhino is like looking over to the side to see why she's suddenly losing her guts.
Not like she had the most like hearty meal. It was just fruit leather.
Yeah, but you're still like choking and gagging and unpleasant.
So once Nim's done up chucking her snack fist, which is a mix of snack and breakfast.
We
Want that.
got it.
Gotcha.
Oh really? I had no idea.
Nim will ask Rhino, I'm sorry, could I borrow your decanter?
And as you asked that, he was already in the process of passing you this jumbo-sized decanter.
Cool.
Hey Rhino, you mind doing me a favor and taking the reins? You seem to know where we're going.
Rhino can do that. And he just quickly takes the reins, sits, and he manages to lean down, pat Lily, and he makes a few noises that you don't entirely understand, but Lily gurgles and kind of starts picking up the pace a little.
Damn, he's good.
Yeah, Nim is drinking water when whatever you guys are doing happens.
So Samson's going to, for the first time on like Lily, pretty much, is just going to like be relaxing with everyone else.
Which of us do you think is relaxing at this moment?
Well, I mean, like, he's relaxing, but is also with everyone else.
Okay, there you go.
Ah.
And he's going to pull out a little, like, notepad and just look it over.
Nim asked, what you got there?
No worry about it. So what happened to you?
Same as last time.
What, you got in contact with Zanzibar again?
Yeah.
Next time that happens, you put me through.
If I can do so, sure. This time was a bit more intentional than last.
Mm-hmm. You learn anything new?
Well, when Celeste and Bryn left, they weren't being controlled at that point, but afterwards, he doesn't know.
Fake town.
Yeah.
So you're saying that they did this by themselves?
There's a chance.
And Samson's just gonna like take a deep breath and exhale and just look upwards.
Right to the canopy.
Yeah. Just sort of like slump his head back and just take a deep breath.
Then we'll also say, he also said don't eat before talking to him.
I'll keep that in mind.
Just throw up stomach acid.
Yeah, which sucks so much.
Mm-hmm. So do eat before talking to him. Just don't expect to keep it.
Only eat something you wouldn't mind twice.
Which I recommend.
Eat a like good-sized loaf of bread.
Yeah.
He's just gonna go back through the like put his head back down and continue looking at that little notepad he has.
Nim is gonna look through the book and see if there's anything new. What check do I have to make?
Book.
Would it be like an intelligence check because you're reading it?
Okay.
I guess that could work. Get you rolling something different. Again, double
All right.
number is nice.
That's a message.
So you start reading it, and you're picking up a little more than you ever did before. Perhaps it's just your circumstances, and you're willing to pay more attention to things, or a vested interest in the book itself, or maybe a combination of that and more. But it genuinely is a journal. The documentations of Celeste's father trying to research Eladrin seasons, which, you know, you don't know much of, so that kind of falls on deaf ears. But the first few chapters do mention a few things. One in particular, you see that he did in fact have some kind of communications with Zanzibar. And from how it was written, it seems almost like it wasn't what you've done. Like he sat down and Zanzibar was telling him things and teaching them things about Eladrin.
Nerd.
Nerd!
Anything worth Nim knowing?
Nothing that Nim would understand.
Ah.
So you're getting this information, but you yourself obviously don't have the knowledge to put this together. If that makes sense.
Yeah, sounds like I should have done this in reverse. Whatever.
Yeah, you can regurgitate the information, but to you it doesn't make a lot of sense without context. Oh
love
god,
the
I just
vegetation
realized
now.
what I did!
Yep.
Oh, some of my best puns are the ones I'd never even think to make.
So,
So
anything else?
Unless you keep reading, but for now the new information you got is that, you know, Celeste's father was researching things about the Eladrin, which to you doesn't make sense because he is an Eladrin, so shouldn't he already know those things? And he's apparently was on some kind of speaking terms with Zanzibar. And he was
So,
getting his information from Zanzibar. Or at least, you know, some of the starting blocks.
Nim keeps reading. Do I have to make another intelligence check, or are you just gonna keep the second number?
Yeah, we'll just reuse the second number. We'll say you earned a free roll on that. Because of the doubles. Doubles are special. They're nice to look at.
E.
You decide to start skipping along a bit because, you know, the finer details don't make sense to you. It's like terms you don't know. And you see, as you go through, as the dates get further and further later and later, the writing becomes more distressed. Someone or something was after him, and it was not Zanzibar related. And it was almost getting to the point where the more he talked to Zanzibar, the harder it was for him to avoid the things that were after him. Meaning that even Zanzibar was losing contact with Celeste's father. Up until the point where the entries just stopped. The book was never finished or fully filled out. A good, like, maybe 5-6 of the books of the journal was filled out, but the last few pages are just blank. And the last entry is just... it's like madman scratch. Any form of coherent thought is just broken away, and the ink's just heavier, like the pen or quill, whatever was used to write it, was just being pressed so hard and sporadic that it's a mess. It looks nothing like the start of the book.
Cool, I guess. Before I say this next thing, does anyone else have something they want to do?
Nah, Samson's just like going over and over this little notepad he has.
Alright. Can I try to contact Xantax again?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is that like Arcana?
Yeah, it's
right?
gonna be an Arcana check again. So, you try to repeat the process that you did before, but you don't manage to repeat the same results. You kind of know the feelings, and you feel like you got a little bit there, but nah, you didn't manage to repeat the experiment.
Right?
You could be persistent and try and do it again.
That's what I'll do.
You managed to crack the code and figure out the few things that you weren't doing exactly the same, and you open up the line again, and you get this like sense of tiredness as you see the visage of Zanzibar turns towards your mind again, and it's just like,
What? The last time wasn't enough? Did you figure since your stomach's already empty, I can't do it again? I can do it again!
just threatening
Don't
you
doubt
with a
that.
snap of a finger.
He just holds his he's like
Yeah, he's just like
snap.
you just
Like
see
an
like
Italian mobster just going
you just feel. Oh, that was the statement of a century. You just see the fingers like come up and go into the shape of about to snap. He's just like,
I can do it again, see?
No, but I have different things this time. And also, you're the only one I can ask about the Eladrin and their seasons.
and at that, it just like shock washes over him.
You've actually been reading the journal. Huh.
Yes.
And here I thought that maybe the daughter would want to read the journal. No, she tries to throw it. The sorceress, with no connection to this, starts reading. I don't get mortals sometimes.
And he just like puts his fingers on his temples and starts rubbing them.
Shoot, go! I have a feeling that no matter how many times I kick you away, you're just gonna come back like an irritant, so I might as well just satiate your infallible hunger.
I was gonna say that's what Nim's parents do, but now isn't the time because Nim's more curious. So Nim will ask specific questions. I didn't really get the most concise notes about what Nim does and doesn't understand. So that's kind of what she does, is like she rapid fires those questions.
On everything?
Yeah.
Gonna have to
Nim
prompt
wrote the
you to
book?
be a little more specific, or we might actually just be here till tomorrow morning.
Okay, so Nim asked about first off, what does the Eladrin season mean? Let's start with that.
As you probably already know from your friend, comrade, acquaintance, we'll go with that. Eladrin show their physical emotions on, well, their physical body. They change with their emotions. They switch between 4 primary seasons, and then there's intermingling in between. Largely, Eladrin now are more stagnant. They don't move as freely as they once do. And that's due to a lot of things that, if I were to tell you, well, being smote would probably be the least of your worries. So I'll spare you that, because I still have a technical need for you to be breathing.
Is that what happened to Celeste's dad?
Well, there's a complicated question. You're really good at asking those, aren't you?
So I'm told.
Well, at least you have a personality. Theoretically, yes. I don't know where he is, or what he's doing, or if he's even willingly doing it. But he's been taken. And I can't seem to pin down by who. Which you may think makes them the greatest beings to ever live in the universe. To escape me, you are wrong! I will find them, I will kill them, and I will reclaim my Eladrin. I was hoping that maybe, just maybe, I could make one pawn into 2, but apparently children are not nearly as smart as their parents. So there's that to contend with. But no, he has not been smote, as far as I know. He's too valuable. What was the
Is
question?
that what you put? It got answered, so Nim will say, "You answered it. Is that why you locked the book? Well, journal, I mean."
Lock the book?
But you said there was like an arcane lock on there, right?
No, it was like a rune and an inscription.
Oh.
It wasn't locking the book.
Oh, okay. Can Nim read those runes?
It's more of a symbol than anything else. It's just a circle with 2 eyes, like, in it. 2 menacing looking eyes. A hieroglyph, that's what I was thinking of.
Oh, okay.
As opposed to a rune. So I guess if you wanted to ask about it, the question would be more, what's it for, than,
Yeah.
you know.
And then we'll go, what are the rooms for? Well, hieroglyphs. You just said hieroglyphs.
You mean that? You mean what's on the back cover?
Yes.
Oh, that's an easy one. Before I gave the book to Amethyst, I made sure that I placed a tracker on it of sorts. And once she picked it up, I got to know everything about her, and she got nothing. It's a really fun deal. Same thing happened when you picked it up. And as long as you hold it, I'll know where you are, what you're doing, and, you know, whether or not you're dying. Pretty helpful. Really not happy that she tossed it away. Kinda messing with my plans. Just a little.
I'm
But,
so tempted to ask what those plans are.
but yeah, no. Like I said, I don't tell a lie.
Oh, also, Samson said he wanted to talk to you. How do I patch him in?
Who?
The one with the green hat and purple hair.
Who? Oh,
It-
it's one of the others. I don't know. Do I have to? Are you really going to make me just talk to everybody?
Well, not everybody, but he has to talk to you.
And why would I want to talk to him?
He's the interesting one.
And you literally just feel him, like, cock his eyebrow. It's like,
I guess I have nothing better to do. I just hand him the book, I guess.
Okay. So Nim will go, hey Samson, hold this book.
Huh?
And she shoves the book at you.
as you're shoving the book, you just hear Zanzibar go,
Wait, you can't lose concentration! Hold it in!
and as you let go of the book, you...
No, Nim hasn't let go of the book yet. Cause like so you know some people do like a shove, but then they let go of it. Nim doesn't want to drop the book, so she's like holding it out.
Oh, she just holds it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he
Hold
quickly...
what?
He does that kind of, like, quick thing. Samson, do you touch the book while she's shoving it into you?
She's shoving it into me. Yeah. Wait a minute.
With your
Are
hand!
you shoving it into my... Wait. Are you shoving it into my chest? Or just,
Your
like,
ribcage.
into my hands?
Your rib cage.
My armor's there, you nitwit!
Oh. Wait, no, if Nim okay, I forgot you had the armor, Nim would shove it into your hands. Because
Okay,
Nim's not touching your armor.
so...
No, but I assume if the book does, that wouldn't be good.
No, it would actually just cut things off
Just hang
while
on.
it's touching it. Just beep, 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 beep.
Yeah, but Nim will shove it into your hands, and heeding the warning, she says, but I can't let go of it, but grab the book.
Okay. And he'll, like, hold on to it with, like, his free hands.
So, you
And
like,
close that little notebook
you-
he has.
take the corner of the book and you both just hear the tail end of the rant, and it's just like,
Now, out of there! Oh my god, would you take off the razor!
Take off your braziers.
Ow! Right, magic. And then I'm gonna undo the brace. I'm gonna put the notebook away, undo the bracer, and put my hand back on the book.
and you just feel this horrible feeling of, like, malice and magic. You're not used to it, so you're definitely feeling more ill than Nim. Even if she hadn't thrown up before, like, this is magic, and Samson doesn't deal much with that, so it's like, eh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Damn, this is making me wish I was blacked out again. Hello?
oh, great. Now there's two of them. Hello there! What's your name?
My name's Samson. I
This
take
is
it
Zanzibar.
you're Big Z.
Just Samson? We don't have a continuation of a name?
My name is Samson J. Merrymaker, and for some reason I thought the great whatever you are Zanzibar would know that.
Well, I'm sorry. I never claimed to be omniscient.
Everyone else claimed you were. I thought you could live up to it.
Well, they're
My apologies.
stupid. What do you want? Like there aren't stupid people in the world. Judging from your accent, you certainly know a home country full of stupid people.
If you weren't the world's strongest person right now.
What? Are you telling me you actually like the people that force everybody to go into dungeons and steal a bunch of riches so that they can get more rich?
Nah, I hate those people.
Exactly, they're idiots!
That don't mean the whole country's full of idiots.
Well, when the entire government... Anyway, why do you want to talk to me? You're wasting my time!
Thought you had lots of free time today.
Why'd I want to talk to you? Why'd I want to talk to you? You are probably the sole reason why we're running around your island dealing with some sort of murder mystery and getting our asses handed to us by every creature here.
What
Why
can
I
I
want to
say?
talk to you because I want to know what the hell you want with us.
Yeah! How about I tell you that when you can prove you actually can get here alive? As you might imagine, I don't like wasting my time. And there's no sense wasting time on things that could easily perish. Why don't you prove everyone else wrong and manage to be alive when you get here? Doesn't that sound like a good challenge for the young, scrappy Variation boy?
I ain't looking for any more challenges, but I guess I can't do nothing about it.
You're right, you can't, because only the strong can choose to do what they want. The weak follow orders.
Kinda fucked up, but whatever.
Ironic that you criticize my country, yet you sound just like them right there.
Well, maybe I rubbed off on them. 2 world-shattering events does generally leave a population weak.
I hate talking to you.
The feeling's mutual, Samson J. Merrymaker!
Oh, that's in character.
Does he just go like?
Yeah. Also, tell Death I said hi, bye, and then he's gonna slap his bracer back onto his hand. As he's holding the book, and then just let go.
Never
So,
that was
that was supposed to be the interesting one?
well, normally he's not like that.
I wonder why he could be so surly. Infinite possibilities.
Yeah, who knows?
Oh, here's a good question. I get to ask questions too, you know. Has he checked out the guns here yet?
Yes, he has. He got upgrades on them.
No, and he's still saying the things he says. That's so funny. That's hilarious. He's not too bright, is he?
It's okay,
Nim
Nick.
pauses for a sec and
You can
goes,
agree.
Nim goes, he's smart in his own way.
Yes, I can recognize there are different forms of intellect. And there are different forms of strength, too. I sense he has a unique combination of those. I wonder what he's going to do when he fits the whole puzzle together. Or I drop it into his lap. Either way, gonna be a good day for me.
What whole puzzle?
Oh, my dear Nim Heart. It's not that something that I should tell you everything. What would be the fun in life if I revealed all the secrets of the universe?
Go home.
It might make us get there faster. Knowledge is power.
Do you actually
You
say
get
that?
to do things.
Do you
Which
actually
part?
say that? All of it.
Your oldest power, yes.
Well, I don't see about how telling you how the entirety of the universe works or the answer to life is going to make whatever you're on right now move any faster. So, got anything else for me? Or are you gonna call back in literally like 20 seconds and bother me some more?
I was gonna be. I can call back.
Oh my god, why did I say that? Oh my god, she's never gonna leave me alone. How many? I'll ask another question. How many times is it going to take you gagging up bile before you stop bothering me? Because I can make that happen in succession.
Can you make my parents love me?
I'm not omniscient. I just said that.
But
No.
he just you see that visage just start to stroke his chin, just like
Maybe. But I can't promise anything. Maybe.
Nim shrugs.
Tell
Not
you what.
expecting you.
Tell you what. Manage to get here live? We'll talk more about that. Alright? Capiche. Adios!
and you
Bye.
just feel the connection just go dead.
So Nim tells Samson, Zanzibar has a puzzle or something for you?
I don't care if he's got a parade going on when we get there.
I didn't get details.
Well, you got one detail.
Well, yeah, but nothing that could help us immediately.
No.
Nim is going to read the book again with her new knowledge.
Are you gonna roll the check for that?
Yeah.
You start reading the book and you start to understand a few things, and it certainly seems like at some point in time the Eladrin were capable of doing much more than you've ever seen Celeste do. And apparently Celeste's father was trying to figure out how to get back to that point. With loose guidelines from Zanzibar and self-work and experimentation. So it's kind of, in a sense, it almost reads like the journal of a master trying to learn how to do their craft. With entries like, today this didn't work. I will try this tomorrow. Success here. Nothing to report there. You know, it's like a mix between a research journal, a diary, and basically like a textbook.
And also a self-help book.
in the funniest, in the most ironic way possible, it reads like Celeste speaks. When she was talking about her magic or, you know, being science-y, you can definitely see the familiar relationship.
Neat.
Could have been another reason that the book got thrown somewhere, but take that for what you will. Reading that, it's kind of like you can almost hear it in Celeste's voice, and I don't know how that might affect Nim.
Nim is once again sad. But also hungry because she threw up her snack fist.
Yeah, I'm gonna get water real quick.